Let me introduce myself to you. This is who I am. No more, no less. God bless us, everyone. We were broken people living on a loaded gun. Where oceans bleed into the sky. God save us, everyone. Will we burn inside the fires of a thousand suns?
Our role is to go out and make a difference, and to be a difference, and to serve in our communities, rather than saying, what can the community do for us, or how can the community come in and make our churches bigger. We want to give out.
Everyone will be burned inside the fires of a thousand suns. For the sins of our hand, the sins of our tongue, the sins of our father, the sins of our young. Lord, and when I close my eyes tonight to sin.
Behavioral health is essential to health. Treatment works, people recover, and the prevention also works.
Memories encoded that where oceans bleed into the sky.
Welcome to Seeing the Need, Finding the Solution. Hoping you're having a great Sunday. We're in the Mental Health 2013 campaign with a focus on Mental Health First Aid Arizona. As you'll see throughout the program, you'll see a list of counties running across the bottom of your screen with a phone number for you to call. And that's for any questions, any crisis, anything that has to do with mental health. Maybe you know somebody, maybe yourself has never made a phone call. Maybe you want to get behind the campaign and you want to support mental health first aid. Maybe you want to call and say you want it in your community. Our goal for this campaign is to reach all the areas that we possibly can in all of Arizona to be able to bring this education out to the community and be able to educate them, hook them up with resources and connect them with resources, and as well support the program and hopefully have this as an ongoing program as prevalent in this state and in this country as CPR first aid. And hopefully it will happen that way to where one day it'll be just as much to take a course for mental health first aid. We all have physical health, we all have mental health, and we need to be able to educate our children and our adults within our system. And over 350,000 phone calls come into just one agency that we had on the show, Crisis Response Network, in reference to crises. And you can imagine what it is with all the other components of the state involved. Today we have a couple guests joining with us on the show, but today we're talking about Corazon, and we have Gabriel. Welcome, Gabriel. And as well, we have Mr. Gutierrez, and his first name is Juan. You guys are both recovery specialists, but you have a little bit of different roles with Corazon.
Right.
The background on Corazon, which one knows the background probably the most, or do you guys both know it equally, of how Corazon came about?
Well, the foundation, the inspiration behind Corazon is in memory of Ricardo Alejandro Tejada, which is son to Teresa and Esma. He's a young man that died at the age of 16 in a car accident. And Teresa and Esma, as co-founders and co-owners of Corazon, are prime examples of how they experienced a traumatic, event in their life, and they were able to turn that into something positive, and that's how Corazon came about.
Now, is that nickname Chapos? Is that the gentleman's name who passed?
That's his nickname. I guess you would say that's how they knew him in town. So.
And the scope of services that you provide at Corazon, give me a little bit of idea of the services you provide.
I think we'd like to take this opportunity to thank Terry Stevens and Jay Gray, administrators for Simpatico of Arizona. They've been there since day one, and they've been a great. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
They've been you know, they've always been there. They've been behind Corazon, you know, during the growth of Corazon. So,
Give an idea to the listeners that don't know, Simpatico, Arizona is a regional behavioral health authority, kind of like NBC or AZTV, which is to me is the best network in the whole world. But when you deal with somebody like NBC or ABC that's in Manhattan, they're a network, and underneath them come affiliates. What Corazon is they're a regional behavioral health authority. So underneath them are networks and agencies, a whole bunch of them, 62 pages on their website. When we talk about scope of services, that's a lot of agencies doing a lot of different things, from crisis response to inpatient psychiatric urgent care to recovery specialists to a whole different areas of scopes of services for the mentally ill, people suffering from mental illness, as well as behavioral health and co-occurring disorders. Scope of services within Corazon serves over 1,300 families, I believe, about in different counties of Arizona. So you're in more than one county as well, correct?
Correct. Corazon originally opened its first office in Casagrande, which is Pinal County, back in 2002, and then 8 years later they opened up another 2 clinics, one in Santa Cruz and one in Cochise County, which is Douglas, Arizona, and Nogales, Arizona.
Both of you have been with the company for about 5 years. Your clinic opened, I guess, originally in 2002.
Correct.
And so there comes the idea of you. It was nice to see you get a little choked up talking and thanking Simpatico for being a part of this, because what that's really saying is they saw something in Corazon, and they are helping you facilitate those services in that area. Is that the right way to put it?
right. They're helping us by, you know, providing that support to our owners, Teresa and Esma. They, you know, they're the ones that are
Believing in us, I think, from the beginning. They've always, you know, they've believed that Corazon has something to offer for our communities, and they've been there to support us throughout.
The age that you serve, is it full span?
Yes, we service children, youth, and adults and families.
Tell us a little bit about the children's services that you provide.
We do provide early intervention. We do provide also substance abuse treatment, which is directed either to youth or adults. But we do specialize in children for the most part.
Now, before I get into the job coaching part and what goes along with that, I didn't get a chance to speak with you too much before the show, but and it's no secret to the viewers out there of coming from a recovery background myself, and being blessed and privileged to be able to be here today and be a miracle as well, sitting on this TV screen. This is something I get to do that I didn't always get to do. Is there a passion behind what you do? And if there is, which I know there is, I can tell by your smile, experience you can share with us.
Absolutely. At the end of my high school years, I started going through anxiety myself, and Corazon was the first place I went, and they opened the doors, you know, for me, and had a great therapist, and I think that just that experience alone made me realize how there's a lot of people out there with the need, and finding people like Corazon, key, you know, components like Teresa is to the company, and Esma. It makes a huge difference, you know, as being on the other side of the table and now being able to help other teenagers and other youth go through something that I went through, I think is quite a privilege and a blessing.
And one of the neatest or the most important parts of being able to give to another who is suffering, as we say, in mental illness, to be able to relate to them. It's kind of like business. That's why we work with for-profits and nonprofits. It's nice to work with businesses, but it's a privilege to work with businesses that have a heart and can show other business how to be fruitful in the community. 90% of giving that is done in the United States is done from employees within companies. That means if people aren't working, then causes aren't being met in reference to the services that they provide. Across your screen, you'll be seeing numbers throughout the show. Please take advantage of them for any questions, anything that you need on mental health, behavioral health, If you have anything going on in your life that you need more information for you, for a friend, a coworker, local businesses, get involved. This is a statewide initiative in reference to mental health first aid. There's going to some slides that we got. We took some, got some pictures sent over from Corazon. And what I'm going to ask you to do as the slides start going through is kind of relate to them, whether it's on a professional level or how it helped you. If you can look at some of the pictures and, hey, maybe I remember this and how it helped me, and how you translate that to other people. So if we could get some of those slides going here, that is, I believe the nickname would be Chapos.
Correct.
That is the inspiration behind all of Corazon. If you can go ahead and take it from here as these slides go through and give us a description of what it is.
This year is our Casa Grande office. That's our reception area there. In Pinal County, as we said before.
Which is over 1,300 total people that you serve, correct?
Correct, in both GSA 3 and GSA 4, which are the 3 counties combined.
And GSA means?
General service area, I believe.
Okay, so the area in which you serve.
Right.
Correct. This year is Nogales office, which is, we have right now about 580 clients that we serve out
the
there.
Children. That's a children's section?
Yes, that's our play therapy and our telemed for our clients to see psychiatrists.
This is another part of our services that we have. This is the wellness center.
So you have exercise there as well, so you not
Right.
just take care of the services part, but that physical part too.
Those were some of our trainings that we're showing there that we do yearly. We try to get
And that's
yearly
Teresa
trainings
as well?
Teresa and
Esma.
Esma.
Teresa and Esmeralda. How many total clinics do you have?
3.
3 clinics.
3 clinics.
In how many counties?
In 3 different counties.
In 3 different counties. And I've been doing this a while. I didn't even know half of you guys existed. And it's been a pleasure being able to partner with Simpatico and realizing how many other agencies are out of Maricopa County doing the work that you do. Gabrielle, you're a job coach, a recovery specialist,
Yes.
focusing on job coaching and stuff. About a minute long, if you can condense it that long, but I want to hear your heart. Can you pick one story that really touched your heart and condense it and why it did?
I think one of my favorite stories is about a young man. He probably started with us when he was about 15 years of age. I won't say his name for confidentiality reasons, but this kid was in a bad place. He was abusing drugs. You know, he was really, not doing well, dropping out of school. So when he came to us, it was for probationary reasons. We got him back on track. He did what he needed to do, and now he's doing great. He's got a job. He's about to start college. Maybe his family coming along soon. So, and I think that really hit home with me because I was kind of going through the same things when I was at that age. When I was 15, 16, I was into the partying. I was into the messing around, and I knew that wasn't the way to go. So for me to see somebody else, succeed because of the services that we provide, that's what really makes it fulfilling, really makes it, worthwhile.
Thank you for sharing your heart. I really appreciate it. To you, Gabriel, if there's one thing you could tell and look at the camera to the person still out there that used to feel like you felt and has not been to Corazon yet, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to, that you're not alone out there. There's definitely other people just like you yourself. And all we have to do is find that resource, find that place, find that person that can really give us a lending hand and show us the way. And there's definitely help out there to not feel alone.
To the community, I want to make sure you see that there's numbers on your screen, there's counties, there's information. You can go to the websites that are on your screen as well. But here, just sitting here, myself, with across from me to my right, Mr. Gutierrez. You also have Gabriel as well. You have 3 people that are on this set that have been able to be used and come from that life to be able to give back and give that back out to the community willingly. And I love doing what we do. God uses, as I say, misfits. I always love that saying. Call the numbers on your screen. It's Mental Health First Aid 20,013. It's education, it's identifying, connecting, and supporting this community all over Arizona. For more information, make sure you call that 800 number across your screen. My name is Phil McIlveen, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Introduce myself to you. This is who I am. No
There's no stigma or discrimination against the heart, the liver, the kidney, even the gallbladder. Doesn't even have a job.
Yesterday, depression was kept in the dark,
And bipolar disorder was your best friend's mother's problem.
but the tide is turning.
We're stopping the stigma.
We're coming out.
Our goal is to make the discussion of mental dis-ease cool and trendy.
No kidding?
Me too.
No kidding.
Me too.
No kidding.
Me too.
It's time we gave the all-American brain some peace of mind.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay.
We are 100% committed to preventing suicide.
To feel not good enough.
We represent 100%.
We represent 100%. We represent 100%.
We represent 100%.
Oh, beautiful release. Memories. This one goes out to the man who minds for miracles. This one goes out to the ones in need. This one goes out to the sinner and the cynical. This ain't about no apology. We weren't born to follow. Come on and get up off your knees. When life is a pill to swallow.
Seeing the Need, Finding the Solution. Sundays on AZTV. Welcome back to Seeing the Need, Finding the Solution, Mental Health 2013. We're talking about Mental Health First Aid Arizona. And for those of you who know and those of you that just came in from Michigan that do not know, Seeing the Need is a cause marketing firm that specializes in cause marketing with for-profits and nonprofits to be able to better serve the community in human services, which means the population that suffers from mental illness, a form of mental illness in the mental health arena, and actually anybody who suffers that is still suffering out in the community, but kind of directly over the last couple of years has taken a real big role within mental health. One of the things I love about cause marketing is being able to align for-profits and nonprofits together with similar objectives to be able to fit needs into the community. And what I love more than that is when businesses come on board because they're on board completely with their heart and not just their pocketbook. And with that, I'm going to introduce somebody just like that, which is the Senior Vice President of Crest Insurance Company, Brian Imwalle. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you.
I loved when we first spoke, I believe, is it, what's the CEO's name, Corey?
Cody.
Cody
Ritchie.
And right out of the gate, you guys were like in,
Yeah.
you know, and Cody's first response was, I just love what they stand for.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about People of Color Network, which we became associated through a company called BCA, Business Centers of America, correct?
Business Centers of America.
Which is a group of businesses, for-profits.
Actually, let me correct you. It's Breakfast Club of America. I'm sorry.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Breakfast Club of America. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah.
And which is a group of for-profits and nonprofits that have very high standards in reference to coming together and of ethics in the way that I look at it.
Sure.
So out of that came a relationship with Crest and, as you know, People of Color Network, which is one of our main sponsors of the program. Brian, let's go over Crest Insurance first a little bit. Give us a scope of your services and what you guys provide.
Well, in a nutshell, we are a full-service insurance agency and brokerage, if you will. So that encompasses anything and everything from personal lines, doing homeowners insurance for you and anybody else out there that's interested in that, on to bonds for construction, commercial lines, so property liability, workers' compensation, and then we have a health benefits division as well. So really the whole gamut of insurance and financial products, including life insurance, we can do it all.
So do you also do business like insurance in reference to equipment and offices and stuff like that too?
Yep, that's a big portion of our business. Here in Arizona, with a lot of the traditional construction and growth in the state, and that's been where a lot of the business has come, frankly.
You've been with the company how long?
Just about a year.
About a year.
Yeah, I've been in the industry for about 20 years, and Crest is a relatively new entity. The bones have been around for over 50 years, but through acquisition, merger, that kind of thing, We've come out, and my partner who you referenced before, Cody, bought the entity away from Compass Bank down in Tucson a couple years back, and we've since grown and expanded to the Phoenix Valley. We have an office in Tempe and then our main office down in Tucson.
So your scope of being able to write policies, is that all of Arizona, all of the is it limited, or?
Believe it or not, we are nationwide.
Okay.
We're licensed in all 50 states. I have clients in Mexico, and we're doing business in Canada. So really there are no limitations, which is nice.
You guys like to give back. We're not the, this isn't the only thing you guys have given back to. I won't go into detail, but after talking with your partner, Cody, he was very open about it, but is that one of the conversations you guys had when you partnered up?
Yes. You know, it's interesting. It's one of those things where I think most businesses try to align themselves with either not-for-profit or with you know, organizations out there in the community that are making a difference, and we're no different. However, we really wanted to align ourselves with somebody that maybe has not been touched as much as others, and therefore we're really excited about this, and we think that, you know, the work that's being done is tremendous, and there's a big, you know, growth potential there.
You know, I really loved hearing that. One of the reasons I opened up our business in the way that we did it, television is a huge but very small part of what we do, but we wanted to be able to help the ones that couldn't be helped or that were helped on a small level.
Sure.
And partnered with some great people along the way. And I believe this is our 7th or 8th season here, let alone on AZTV. So with that in mind, your personal experience, your perspective, why don't we go ahead and share a little bit about that?
On mental health and the subject?
Yeah, I want to know what really touches you about this.
Well, you know, it's interesting. In this profession, which anybody in this line of work will tell you that, you know, you don't go to school necessarily to do it, you kind of fall into it, and then you grow and blossom. And the neat thing is you're able to touch and feel all kinds of different businesses and entities out there, and therefore other situations that present themselves. Mental health has become an increasing topic as of late, whether it's some of the press that's out there, heightening the awareness, but from both perspectives. From my clients, the business owners, you know, they are feeling the squeeze of not only the economy, but other external pressures. And so they come to us and they say, hey, you know, what can we do better on our end from your perspective to maybe protect our business and put us in a better financial situation. So we're seeing a lot of businesses implement employee health and wellness programs, which is really tremendous, because what that does is it really marries the employees to the business, involves them, and it's just not a place where people go and put their 8 hours in and go home. They're participating, and that brings them into the fold. Depression's a big issue out there. And you know, that can translate into workers' compensation claims and also employee benefit, you know, claims as well. And so the wellness programs have really added a lot to employee happiness at the workplace.
Football.
Yeah, football.
Concussions.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
You know, back in my glory days, I was fortunate enough to go to the University of Arizona on a football scholarship. Go Cats.
You.
Oh no. I could say something, but I won't. It's your show.
I'm just kidding.
It was a great experience. I grew up in Tucson and had the opportunity to go to U of A, and I did. I started getting concussions in high school though, and they progressed and into college, and they got worse every time, and to the point where finally I ended up in the hospital, and I didn't remember going to practice that day. I don't remember going to school. It was one of those kind of deals, and the neurosurgeon at the time said, hey, why don't you just be a student? And that was probably good advice. Back then, they put an emphasis on concussions, and they knew that obviously it wasn't bad or not good. And I think between now and then, a lot more information has come out. And you see a lot of, well, there's been a lot of tragedies lately. Junior Seau, you know, committed suicide. Hideki Irabu in baseball. There's even been skiers, Jarrett Peterson.
Sure.
So it's kind of scary. And so Muhammad Ali, you know, has Parkinson's disease now. Now, there's not a direct correlation, but some people say yes, there is. It's hard to prove. So it's kind of near and dear to my heart. I don't suffer from anything that I know of, but I know that there's those out there that do. And so it just kind of...
You know, I love the statistic that, you know, 1 out of 5 adults now suffer from a form of mental illness or have suffered. Same thing with a child. And it's really not detected normally until later on in life, but as low as 12 years of age. But when people really take a good look at that 1 in 5 statistic, you could probably pick some people that are close to you, whether it's your mother, brother, sister, father, coworker, that you know that suffers from one form of mental illness or another.
Without a doubt.
And what's really amazing to me is the fact that, and you hit it on the nose, the depression aspect. I read a statistic in an article that Americans take as much medication for depression to medicate on a normal dose the world 3 times over in our United States alone. You know, we always are trying with the campaign to get mental health, mental illness away from the stigma of violence and all the stuff that is tied along with that. And the bigger picture is that people are suffering, whether they're isolating, whether they're depressed, and then that turns, like you're talking about, you know, really in a business aspect, you can workman's compensation claims, and what a position you have in reference to being an insurance company, which I never even thought of not only of instilling maybe some sort of education or some mental health or health program and partnering with people that maybe do that, but also educating them on how they could better run their program by identifying these things and getting in those health policies and some different stuff. That's a great, great thing.
Thank you. And I think the bigger point, you know, mental health has a wide spectrum, let's face it. You know, there's very mild to the extreme. And to your point on the statistics of 1 in 5, you know, because somebody might suffer from some degree of mental health, that doesn't mean that they can't perform, they can't be a worker, they can't be valuable.
Amen.
It's a matter of managing, working with that condition. It's like anything else. I mean, it can be as simple as, hey, I have a cold, I'm going to take some medicine, I still do my job.
15-second blurb to the camera. If you could tell a business or a person one thing, what would it be?
You know, if you're an employee, get with your HR director and find out, explore what services are available to you as an employee in your company for personal growth and mental health awareness.
And what I'll give away as a takeout point is if you want to partner with agencies that actually give in this area, that provide in this area, that have knowledge in this area, that are linked up with people in integrity and character in this area, go ahead and call the information on the screen. You have Crest Insurance, Mr. Brian Imwalle, which is the Vice President as well. Please use the phone numbers that have been running across your screen with the counties available. If you're suffering from anything, please call the crisis line, whether it's you or somebody else. I really, really want to encourage you, use it for resources, use it for connection, use it for whatever you can. If you had the privilege of watching the show in your own home, thank a soldier today. And if you had the privilege of understanding this, thank a teacher. My name is Phil McIlveen, and we'll see you next Sunday. Thank you.
I know you're there, and I can feel you. I will not fear, I will trust in you, and I will not be afraid. When the battle is close at hand, I know you're with me to help me stand. I will trust in you, and I will.